Today we are going to do with your Ideas of Development, second chapter for the 10th class, Social Studies. Okay, already part 1, part 2 we have done. Now we are going to do the part 3, that is continuation of the second chapter. So here I would like all my students who are viewing, open your textbook page number 18 because I will be reading and then explaining to you, right? So page number 18. How to compare different countries or states. So I'm just reading and then explain, children. When we compare different things, there could be similarities as well as differences. Which aspect do we use to compare them? So we have differences and your similarities. So what are the aspect we take to compare? Let us look at the students in a class itself. How do we compare different students? They differ in their height, health, talent and interest. Right? We all know. Okay, everybody's height will be, in a class you take a 50 strength. Okay, height is different, their health is different, their talent are different and their interests are different. The healthiest student may not be the most studious one, right? And the most intelligent student may not be the friendliest one. So, how do we compare the students? That's a question mark. The criterion we may use depend on the purpose of comparison. So, we take one criteria. Criteria is nothing but a kind of a base. Okay, kind of a base where on depending on that criterion, we will decide whether that particular height, personality or interest will differ. We use different criteria to choose a sports team. So, we want to have select a sports team. The criteria is different. Okay, depends upon the physical this strength we take into account, right? A debate team, mean here physical this all will not count. For debate team we take how smart they are to talk in that debate. And a music team, so a music team what we take, we choose the criteria would be the voice. Okay, how the pitch of the particular student is, right? So now I think you understood what the meaning of criteria. Yes or no, student? Criteria is nothing but for a sports team the criteria is different, for a music team the criteria is different, okay, right? And for a debate team the criteria is different. I think now you understood the meaning of criteria, right? Still, if for some purpose we have to choose the criteria for all round progress of children in the class, how do we do it? So, when you're talking about a separated debate team and a music team and a sports team, we have certain criteria. When you talk about the all-round development, then what we take as a criteria? That is very important. Usually, we take one of the more important characteristics of the persons and compare them based on their characteristics. Okay, same like that. For comparing the countries, now we are talking about what the different countries and states, how do we compare? Means whether that particular country is a developed country or a developing country or a underdeveloped country. So that is what we are trying to do now here. Or a state, or was it regionally developed state, or in that particular state whether it is a developed state or a underdeveloped state or a developing state. So that is now our topic is what we are going to deal now. For comparing countries, their income is considered to be the most important attributes. They are saying that the most important point what we take here for the countries are the income. Okay, what is that? Income. Okay. Countries with higher income are more developed than countries with a lower income. So, we are here the criteria is what? So, I already told about what is the meaning of criteria. Means for particular sports team the criteria is different. Means the basic foundation, the basic points will be different. Okay, for a music team we see the voice, the pitch of the person. Okay, a student who is singing. Okay, for a sports team we see the physical health of that particular student. So that is the criteria, right? So for the comparison of the country, what is the criteria now? I talked about the income is the country. So if you have a high income, then it is a developed country. If it is lower income, then it is a developing country. Still lower, then it is a underdeveloped country. Okay, right? So this is done based on the understanding that more income means more access to the things. that human beings need to fulfill their basic requirements. Okay, I read once again, children, over here. Okay, this is done based on that understanding that more income means more access to things. If you have more income, let us suppose, then what happens? We will have more accessibility of the thing. Means whatever we want, we can buy. Okay, to buy what we need money, right? Money is nothing but a kind of income only, right? So when you calculate annually, yearly, when you calculate, we calling as the income. What in the general communication, when we talk, we call it as money, right? So you want to buy any things from outside, what we need, students, we need money, right? So when you have more money, you have more accessibility of the thing. Accessibility means whatever you want, you can buy. So you don't get anything for free. Yes. So we need to pay the money and then we get your things. So we have more accessibility of things when you have more money. If you have more money, more accessibility of your things. That human beings need to fulfill their basic requirements. So what are the basic requirements for clothing and shelter? So for that you need money. Whatever people like and should have, they will be able to get with greater income. So whatever we wish, we have so many wishes, we have so many desires that can be fulfilled with what? Only one particular thing is your money. If you have more money, whatever we wish like, whatever we want to buy like, if you see you go out, you want to buy something. So when you want to buy something, you wish to buy something, what we need with us? We need money. So when you have more, we have money with you, then whatever we wish like, whatever we desire, we can purchase it, right? So greater income itself considered to be more important goal. So when you have more income, then we can say that it is very important, like it's a developed country or a developed state. Okay, whatever accessibility is there, we can buy. It all depends upon your money, children. Now, what is the income of the country? Okay, income of the country. How do we derive? How do we get of country's income? So, our individual income means for one particular family we can decide. But whole of the country's income, how to? So, intuitively, the income of the country is the total of the income of all the residents of the country. Okay, I repeat. What is income of the country mean? Income of the total. Income of the total people living in the country. That is what we are saying. It's the residents. Okay. Total of the income of all the residents of the country. Means who all are living in the country. Their income when you calculate. The total population's income when you calculate. That is called as your income. National income we call it. So this gives us the total income of the country. Okay. How do you get total income of the country? Means who are living, the total population income when you calculate, then we get your national income. However, for comparison between countries, total income is not such a useful measure. Since countries have different populations, comparing total income will not tell us what an average person is likely to earn. So, when we can't take the directly income of the country, so we have to take what? We have to calculate the population also. Are people in one country better off than the other in a different country? So hence we compare the average income which is total income of the country divided by the total population. So here they have given a kind of equation. You can make a note over there, children. Per capita income, or we can call it as average income, which is equals to total national income by total population. Okay, students. So we can call it as per capita income, or we can also call it as average income. How do we calculate means we take the national income of the total income country, okay, country of the income, or country's income divided by your total population. We will get the average income per head. We also call it as per capita income. Okay, you in the next paragraph there said, this criteria is used in the development report brought out by the World Bank to classify the countries. So in the World Development Report, what the World Bank have classified. So they have given certain criteria. countries with per capita income of US dollars, okay, US dollars 12,600 and above per annum in 2012 are called as high income countries. So they are called as what? High income countries, or we call it as rich countries. Okay. The average income of the people living in the particular country, if it is US dollars 12,600, then it is called, those countries are called as rich countries. Okay. And those with per capita income of US dollars 1035, okay, or less than that are called as low income countries, or we call it as poor countries. Is that clear, children? According to the World Development Report, the World Bank has classified the countries on the two criteria, that is US dollars 12,600 is there. The average income of the people living in that particular country, it is 12,600. Then those countries are called as high income countries, or we call it as rich country. And if US dollar 1,035, then that particular countries are called as low income countries, or we also call it as poor countries. Until less than a decade ago, India came in the category of low income countries. Now it falls under the category of middle income countries. So now our income levels of India has improved. So from low income countries we have increased to the middle income countries. And as the per capita income in India rose faster than that of many countries, its position has improved. We will read more about growth of income of people in India in the next chapter. The rich countries, excluding countries of West Asia and certain other small countries, are generally called as developed countries. While averages are useful for comparison, they also hide many disparities. For example, here they are given an example, children, in your textbook. Look into the textbook. Let us consider two countries over here. They have given two countries example here, A and B. For the sake of simplicity, we have assumed that they have only 5 citizens. So generally we don't have 5 citizens, we have n number. But to understand, they have given only 5 citizens in country A and country B. Based on the data given here, table 2, calculate the average income of both the countries they have given. So country A, when you see the first citizens is 9,500 is income, and when you take the second citizen it is 10,500, and you take the third citizen it is 9,800, and the fourth citizen 10,000, and the fifth citizen 10,200. And when you come to the country B, children, it is first citizen 500, second citizen 500, third citizen 500, fourth citizen 500, and fifth citizen 48,000. So when you see the data over here, we can see, when you see the country A, there is no much difference between one citizen's income to the other citizen income, like 9,500 to 10,500, only a 1,000 difference, and 10,500 to 9,800, only hundreds difference, like that, and 9,800 to 10,000, again a 200 difference, like that, and 10,000 to next to 10,200, again a 200 difference. Okay, right? So there is no much differences in country A. But when you see the country B, 1, 2, 3, 4 citizens have 500 income. Only one citizens have 48,000. So that means what here? There is no equal distribution of income in country B. Okay, when if you were given a chance in which country you would live in, most of will raise a hand for country A. Why? Because there is no much difference between the income levels. Means there is a lot of equality is maintained in country A. When coming to the country B, there is a lot of disparity is there. Okay, 4 citizens having only 500 rupees, but when you take the fifth citizen, it is 48,000. So there is income inequality, lot of income inequality differences we find in the country B. Turn the page, children. Will you be equally happy to live in either of these countries? Are both equally developed? When you see equally developed, no, we find lot of differences over there. Perhaps some of us may like to live in country B. Country B, when we will like to live when our income is 48,000, the fifth citizen. If you would be a fifth citizen, and then we obviously will like to live in country B because our income is greater. If we are assumed to be a fifth citizen, yes. But if it is a lottery that decides our citizenship number, then perhaps most of us will prefer to live in the country A. Though both the countries have identical average incomes, country A is preferred because it has more equitable distribution. I already said 9,800, 10,000, 10,200. There is no much difference. So you have an equitable distribution in country A. So most of us will prefer to live in country A itself because there is no much differences. In this country, people are either neither very rich nor extremely poor. While most citizens in country B are poor and one person is extremely rich. Hence, while average income is useful for the comparison, it does not tell us how the income is distributed among the people. So, when you see the picture over here, children, it's very clear. Okay, in 4 chairs, 5 people are sitting. And when you take the other picture here, in 4 chairs, only one single person is lying happily, and in the other 2 chairs, 4 people are sitting. So, that means you have unequal distribution over here. Here you have an equal distribution. We can say it is country A and this is country B. Is that clear, children? In the part 3 today, we are going to do the part 4, and in the part 4 we will be doing income and other criteria, public facilities and development as a progress over time. We will be doing it part 4. Okay, please like, share and subscribe, and please try to press a bell icon. So whenever you press the bell icon, then you will get the next notification whenever I take up the class. Goodbye, children.